ain't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Eevee and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy, Ernie the Blerd Without Fear. And today I am joined by two very special guests, one of which who has been on with us before, Paulina Ganucheau, who is at the time, was the artist for Powerpuff Girls, but now also, to my understanding, also writing Powerpuff Girls, and has been doing a lights out job of that, and is also behind Girl Mode and Lemon Bird, and has done stuff for the TMNT Black, White, and Green series. I am also joined by not a newcomer to the biz, but newcomer to this show, Coleman Engle, who some of you might also be familiar with if you keep up with the Steven Universe comics, as well as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Amazing Adventure books. And also, I just recently, because I like to do research, I recently had discovered you do Wrapped Up and Bee and Puppy Cat. So I do my research. I know stuff. Okay, I know things. I know how to Google. I know how to Google search.
He's plugged in.
Yes. Finger firmly on the pulse.
Yeah.
I got this. I don't got much, but I got this. So first things first, I just want to say I'm really excited for what y'all have coming up, because you're going to be tackling two things that are kind of near and dear to my heart, and I'm kind of here for it. So we're going to be talking about the upcoming Thundercats Powerpuff Girls crossover that when I got the word from Nick Barucci, the head guy in charge at Dynamite, my first response was, huh? I'm like, huh? This is was that like I just because I'm curious, because I love knowing how these things come together. When y'all were told what was going to be going down, what were your reactions? Like, did y'all have like a similar, like, whoa, okay, this is kind of out here, like, what's going on here? Like what? How did it all break down?
Yeah, absolutely. Nate Cosby brought it to me first, the idea. And I was like, that's wild, but I am here for it. So I jumped in feet first. So, but yes, at first I couldn't wrap my head around it a little bit when I sat down to write. But once I dug into both of the shows and went through my favorite beats and stuff, it really meshes well, together well in a way that you would not expect. So yeah, I think right away it was very much just like, huh? But now it's like, oh.
It's like, I get it now. Was it like the Matrix? Was it like when Neo figures out, he can finally see the Matrix? You're like,
yes,
get it now.
Yes, I know Kung Fu. Yes, that's yes.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Coleman, what about you? What was your reaction when this crossed your desk?
The exact same. Paulina texted me and was wondering if I was available to do work, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. And she was like, okay, what do you think about Powerpuff Girls and Thundercats? And I was like, I love those. And she was like, what do you think about them together? I was like, it sounds good. The ingredients sound really good. So, and I know that she's going to cook up something awesome. So, and she has.
Good pie.
I that was kind of the thing too for me. Like I'm usually open to most things. So while I had a bit of confusion when it was initially announced, once I saw who was involved, I was like, this will play. This plays. We're going in. We're going in. I already kind of know where Paulina stands on this, because we talked about this last time. Before the launch of the Powerpuff Girl series, I know you got skin in the game on Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, well, you know about me, but Coleman, you started.
I think Paulina and I are similar in that we were like of an age and a very specific demographic for Powerpuff Girls when it
Mm,
first came out. I think we were both 10 when it came out, and it was coming out when Toonami was replaying Thundercats reruns.
mm,
And so in my brain, it just kind of meshes together as like this perfect thing.
mm.
Like if you look back into what inspires you and what kind of got you into drawing, that those two are definitely on the list. And yeah, the graphic nature of Powerpuff Girls and sort of Dexter's Lab and all those, I guess, early Cartoon Network shows, they really left an impression on me and how I approach art. And so they are really important to me. And I think the joke telling and the economy in which they like can just give a lot of information out with being so withheld on like not overdoing it, maybe.
Mm.
It's really inspiring.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls is really special. Means the world. They're all my favorites. I used to be on message boards when I was 10 years old. I had original OCs. Yeah, I had comics. I was all about it. So yeah,
Well,
I love Powerpuff Girls.
you were a Powerpuff Girl stan before like the term stan was actually like
Dude,
a thing.
yes.
Like
Yes.
you're the original.
Yes.
You're a triple OG Powerpuff Girls stan, and I love that. I love that.
Deep cut stuff. Do you remember? I think it was like on Fridays on Cartoon Network, they would like auction off like special items. And there was one time they did a Powerpuff Girls skateboard, and I was like 10 years old, and I called in for that thing like 20 times. So if that's not OG, I don't know what is. That's gotta be it.
like somewhere whoever won it, just know we're looking for you. We're still looking for you.
I would fight somebody for that. Maybe.
With that said, we're bringing Powerpuff Girls and Thundercats together. Two things that on paper don't sound like they should be in the same room with each other, but I think that like I'm actually, as I sit back and think about it, I'm like, oh wow, how has this not happened before? Like this, it almost it's a story that kind of feels like it it feels like a Toonami like fever dream, and maybe something that I once might have imagined I saw in Robot Chicken like 5 ever ago. But you never know. It could have been. You never know. But so knowing where y'all are with Powerpuff Girls, like where were the vibes with Thundercats for each of you?
Very similar, honestly. Like Coleman said, 1998 is when Powerpuff Girls aired, and on Toonami they were re-airing Thundercats at the same time. So it's like the young millennials were getting Thundercats again because it had been lost to the 80s by that point. So yeah, I think it was weirdly like linked up for at least us in a way that is similar in my little child brain. It's I loved it then. I loved Cheetara and Panthro. They were my two favorite characters. I watched it every day. The theme song is lit. There
was no wrong answers in there. No wrong answers.
No, it's really not.
No. You said the right stuff. You said the right stuff.
Yep.
I'm checking with my people. They say those are the correct answers.
Approved.
And I guess while we're talking about some favorites, you kind of already kind of gave us a taste of that for your experience, Paulina. Coleman, what about yourself? Like, because I know you said earlier too that same you've seen it like back when it was first getting reruns. Alongside Powerpuff Girls and all those other those classic Cartoon Network original animated series, like what kind of where did it kind of stand for you? Like did you have any like favorite characters or anything like that?
I always like gravitated towards like the trickster characters like Snarf or like the Wileys, like the cats. But yeah, Panthro and Cheetara were very fun. Tigra is sort of sometimes a stick in the mud, but we love him, and then Lion-O, I'm also boring in that like I usually like the leader, like the avatar for the audience. I'm like, yeah, he's cool. So I guess the whole team. But I think like when you're younger and you see these things, and for a lot of people, it's sort of your first introduction to anime, like straight on anime, not
Right.
just, a studio handling the animation for an American show. Like maybe Inspector Gadget, I think, had maybe either a French or a Japanese studio drawing it, but it was an American show.
Yeah.
Seemed like we got
I
a
think
lot of that
anybody's
back then.
yes,
Tons of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think anybody's first introduction to anime is pretty special, and it's kind of hard to like shake it. That and Voltron, I remember on Toonami, I was like, what? Like, what are these things?
What's sorcery?
I honestly,
Same boat there, myself. Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what brings me to this crossover, is that like taking these things that are from very different time periods, but captured very similar audiences without really giving too much of the game away. What was the what brings these two very different franchises together for this crossover?
As far as plot, or like in essence, what brings them together?
Like what's the I don't want to give up too much of the I don't want to give away too much of the recipe. Okay, we don't want to give. I don't want to give up the sauce, but we're just a taste of how everything comes together.
Mm-hmm. Well, it involves Mojo Jojo, a rocket, a wormhole, and then crash landing on Third Earth, and that's the start of it all.
Oh wow! Oh, so there you go. And this is why I'm so glad that that you got tapped for this, because it doesn't sound anywhere outside of the spectrum of possibility for an episode of Powerpuff Girls.
It really doesn't. It's like, it's nothing deep. It's like people are like, how is this going to happen? It's like, it just happens. Like that's it. We can do anything we want. It's a comic.
The same way it happens in Townsville.
Yeah, it just happens. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Random stuff happening. I don't.
Yeah, and I think both of the crews being teams who fight evil like lend themselves to blending together in a way that is really good, and like the stiff, cheesy quality of the Thundercats and the more like sarcastic, modern Powerpuff Girls blend together in a way that's really nice, and the jokes kind of write themselves, and I really enjoy the two teams together. It's a hoot to write it. I'm having a blast.
So, and you know what, I want to ask this because I love knowing how the sausage is made. I love the behind the scenes aspect of everything, and because of my familiarity with you both, I know like you're both not just your respective roles and I guess I probably should have said this earlier, but I'm gonna say it now just in case maybe I had a brain fart and didn't say it. But obviously Paulina is going to be writing the series. She just stated Coleman's going to be providing art, but you're both writers and artists. I always find it interesting to see when you have a creative team that kind of knows how the other side plays. And one of the things that kind of leapt out at me, seeing this was, obviously you're writing, Paulina Coleman, you're providing art, but like, was there like any like kind of crosstalk in those roles? Just based on like the experience you both have as playing in both roles?
Definitely. I think it would be impossible to not lean on each other in both fields, because we're friends too, so we love to talk it out. But B, I think just to make the process better for both of us, especially for Coleman, because being the artist is harder no matter what. So
yes.
I make sure it's true. I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% right.
True.
Well, because you get, as a writer, you get to write the script down, and for the most part, you can walk away and move on to the next
Literally,
thing.
yes. As someone who does both, it's impossible to say that writing is harder than drawing.
Yeah.
Just in sheer hours and like exhaustion and like just how long it takes. Like, I love drawing, but like it's hard.
Yes.
It's hard. So whatever I can do to make it easier for Coleman, I think I do have a leg up because I'm an artist. So I can lend myself to not destroying him with like putting like 200 people on a page, or like, just asking for very unnecessary shot calls and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. And Coleman helps me right back. I'll bring him ideas and be like, do you like this? Like, would you want to do this? And he's like, hell yeah. So like, yeah, it's absolutely a two-way street. And I think that's how it should be. I think comics should always be like that. It should be a conversation, because that's what it is on the page. It's a conversation.
Like I say, I've always kind of been in that same camp that, the writer has it easy by comparison, by like a country mile. Because drawing it's fun. It's rewarding. I enjoy it a lot. But damn if I don't want to do it all damn day. And there's certain things I don't like to draw. I'm like, no, I don't like cars. There are no cars in my universe. There's no cars in my universe. People walk and they take the bus, which I only have to draw once. But no, and there's no buses. There's teleporters everywhere. Everyone just teleports where they go. There's no, everybody's lazy.
It's your world.
Yeah, and damn you if you try and tell me otherwise. But no, but I just really am curious too, like, for you, Coleman. And I guess this, kind of really enhances it a little bit. It's not to say that, like, it's unusual for people who are like, friends with each other to work together, but like, how does that change the dynamic of working on a project together?
It heightens it. It makes it really nice, because I feel so blessed, because Paulina and I are friends on top of everything, but we are able to have these sort of candid conversations. I remember in the beginning, she was like, is there anything you want to draw? Is there anything that you'd like to draw? And even before those conversations, Paulina knew my strengths and weaknesses. And I think she knew those ideas going into it. And then once I was like, well, let's do, like, I love Zelda. I love like Silent Hill. I love Resident Evil. I love like, all these different things and influences, which she loves too. And so I think a conversation is always better, because going into that, she can take that and make it into something that she wants to write as well, because, it has to be fun for her. And I think it's like really a fun dynamic, and it's going to be great.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. We love a lot of the same stuff. We have the same language, so it just works. Yep.
Well, I just think that's awesome, because it's I don't know. I like I said, it's not to say that, other people that, work together aren't, buddy or anything, but I always think that I always find it more interesting when, when people that, clearly they know each other, they, it's got to bring something else to it that, a level of communication maybe other people wouldn't have. And the fact that y'all both understand each other's, respective roles, in such a way, like I said, I just think that's really awesome. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think that's awesome. So when y'all are, conceiving this, this crossover and, kind of pinning these things together, I know you kind of, hinted at earlier what things you kind of prefer to draw, kind of things you don't, really want to, like. So like I always love to ask artists this, and this really applies to both of you, but like, what are some things that you don't like to draw?
Oh my God.
I think a common answer is maybe like backgrounds. But I think once you realize that the backgrounds are just an extension of your style, and like you can make the backgrounds look like your style, as opposed to like this building has to look like a building that exists in reality, and not just like this building needs to be believable within this world. And I think
like that answer.
I think I had that epiphany like a couple years ago, and I was like, wait, it doesn't have to be my enemy. It can just be a part of. It can be a different character on the page, as opposed to this thing I'm dreading to draw. So I still don't love backgrounds, but
backgrounds versus cars. Where are you on the background versus car?
Cars are hard.
I hate cars.
Cars are very hard.
I hate cars.
Hey,
hard.
Y'all heard it here first. You heard it first. I don't ever want to hear anyone complain. It's true. It's true.
Thankfully, there are not a lot of cars on Third Earth.
There are not a lot of cars. No.
And you know what? I think that's why I like Third Earth so much.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Yeah.
Let's switch to spaceships or like little like claw digging machines as cars. Like, let's do that. That sounds more fun.
And you know what? I think that I think we should bring the midriff back. I think we should.
Yeah.
I think it works great for Lion-O. I don't see any reason why why should I have to draw all the clothes? I don't think I should have to draw. I think I just pants and maybe like a little mid. That's all you need. You don't need anything else.
Yeah,
That's it.
Belly out.
Yeah.
Just a little belly out.
Tight fitting because I don't like drawing folds. It's annoying. I don't think they should exist. And you know what? I think everybody should have the similar or same type of eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my wish list. But and I guess for you, Paulina, yourself, like are there things that you're like just not crazy about? Like you see it, you're just like, okay, I guess I'll do this.
About drawing them?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, cars is one for sure.
See, I knew it.
Established. Horses are hard. But I would rather draw a horse than a car, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hear me out. Like we're talking hierarchies here. We're talking hierarchy. Yes. So when we say horse, car,
no,
background. Oh, yeah. Or yeah. Okay. So yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's think. So how about car, background,
horse.
Okay, there you go. We got it. We figured it out.
Yeah.
We figured it out. I don't make the rules, y'all. I don't make the rules. I just play the game. Okay. Well, and I guess you know what? I think that when you're an artist, I feel like you're always going to kind of gravitate to the things you like. For me, when someone asks you to say, hey, can you draw this really like cool thing? It's got this super like there's like a badass mountain in the background, whatever a badass mountain is, and it's got lava coming out of it. There's like 6 cars and there's like a dude on a horse. It's like very Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If you're into that sort of thing. And and then you just look at it and just go, it's like the holy trinity of bad things. Like does that ever, like when you ever see something, and we don't want to out anybody, but like, if you want to like, if you ever like see a script come by and you just look at it, just like, okay, all right, yeah.
I think
we're on this today.
For the interior artist, Those panels happen; they're real. And what you have to do is you just kind of sigh and you bow your head, and then you roll up your sleeves and you get into it because you know it's going to take you all day to draw that one panel, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I believe it. On the flip side of it, and this is really for both of y'all too. When it comes to the writing side, because as we've already established, it is the easier of the two. But are there specific things that like you kind of encounter on that side of things? Something, like are there ever like, oh, I gotta write this type of a scene, or I gotta like write this type of a character or situation? Like, is there anything like an equivalent to the car background horse dynamic on the writing side of it for you?
I think it's less about specifics on the writing side, but more about how hard the initial steps of writing can be when you're like piecing together the whole picture, like start to finish. Like sometimes the connecting pieces of a story when you're like developing them, I find that that's the hardest part for me. It's like once you get to it's locked down, you have your short synopsis of all the issues, it kind of flows. But then as far as like the scripting part, it all flows pretty well. But I just think it's all about that connective tissue of like, how do I get here to here and make it make sense and have it be engaging? I think story development is my metaphorical horse, maybe. So that's maybe where it is for me. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Okay, I guess like see when it's time to that's when you roll the sleeves up.
Yeah.
And it's like, All right, we're
Yeah.
going in. We're going
Yeah,
in.
pretty much. And a lot of that stuff can't be forced either. It's just like lots of mulling, lots of walking, lots of like standing in the shower, just like thinking, or just like opening up your notes app and being like, is this something? Question mark, and you save it for later. Like it's a lot of that.
Is it like that narco scene? Is it like that narco scene where like you're sitting out on the swing, you're just kind of like
yeah, it's that.
Then you're in the house, it like sitting in a dark room, like that. For whatever reason, the lights aren't on. You know, just it's, I don't know. Stand in the middle of the empty pool.
Yeah, lots of ennui when you're trying to develop a story. Yeah, rain in the windows. You know, it's definitely that. Yeah.
Well, and I guess for you, Coleman, is there anything kind of is there like a similar kind of thing for you, like on the writing side of things?
I write a lot less, but I had a big project that I was doing last year, which was like a daily webcomic that was sort of it imitated like newspaper strips. It was a daily webcomic, and I got a calendar notebooks for like day by day by day. And then so I just like went in and plugged in all these big scenes that I knew that needed to happen, or what like needed to change with this character or that character. And then it was really good to visualize that, because I was like, okay, this happens here and this happens here. But then again, with Paulina, it's like, what is the connective tissue? Can it be like a low scene? Can it be like a funny scene? What would best serve getting there? And I think that helps. But it's always fun to write the things that you're excited about most and then sort of figure out the road later. Yeah, again, I write much less. So.
Well, and I guess that kind of brings me to this. If you have the like what is peak fun? Like is it just that planning phase, or is it the nose to the grindstone and actually like telling the tale?
I think telling the tale should always be at the forefront, but I love how world building happens naturally around telling a story. And I think that is my favorite aspect of like world building. It's just whatever happens organically. But luckily with Thundercats and Powerpuff Girls, we didn't have to do any world building. So we're basically like playing in a sandbox, which I really like. And there's like a lot of toys in there, and we're just like making them dance. So yeah, it's really fun. But yeah, I would say telling the story is my favorite part of any sort of creating when you're building a world. But yeah, I mean, world building is fun though. It's very fun. But I just love the meat and drama of a story. It's my favorite
the ice
part.
cream. It's the ice cream, basically.
Yeah, it is. World building is like the hot fudge and the sprinkles and the banana and all that. Yeah, for sure.
It's not to say that the telling the story is like the vegetables, but I mean, it's
no.
It's just, but it's meat and potatoes. It's very important. It's part of the balanced diet. You gotta have it. You need it. It's just not as fun as maybe like a, because I feel like there's less. I don't want to say there's less because it's important, but like being able to tell the narrative actually is more important than having like a plan for the an overarching plan for the narrative that's 3 years way out to next year.
Yeah, you also don't want to get lost in the exposition of world building. Like,
no.
Oh my god, that's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope.
You come out looking like Charlie Day, and like you got the cork board. Yeah, you're like, all right. But for you, Coleman, what would be your answer for that?
I think the same. I think the world building is cherry on top. I just started Freerin, the anime, and it's like kind of blowing my mind because it's all about Freerin and like her interacting with the world, and realizing that she needs to connect with people because their timelines are different. But then it's just you get all these little bits and pieces about the world, and I'm like, what is going on? And it's so thoughtfully done. And I think things like Breath of the Wild, with all the environmental storytelling, and I think there's a world where like they work together really well. But yeah, I think maybe the story is it just edges it out a little better.
Now, Paulina, you mentioned something earlier about kind of you having the sandbox with a lot of toys.
Yeah.
And something I'm curious about is, were there any toys they were like, no, you can't play with this toy?
I don't think so. I don't think we were told to stay away from anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, go, have fun.
Just have it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so basically they just took they didn't open the toy box, they just tilted it over and said, all
Yeah,
right.
they went, yeah, exactly.
All right, you clean it up later, but just
Yeah.
yeah, do what
Have
you got to
fun.
do.
Yep, have fun. Yep. That's accurate.
So let me ask this, Coleman, who was the most challenging character to, I guess, like kind of render out, like to kind of like display in your own voice?
I think Tigra.
Oh,
Because-
okay.
It's the hair, and because he doesn't have a receding hairline, but it kept like reading that way when I was drawing him, and I was like, oh, what am I missing? I need to like unlock this. And
I mean, he's a dad.
you know, I think receding hairlines are like incredibly attractive, but it's not how, because I wanted like his 80s character model to work within the style and not let like sort of things be lost. But I was like, it is reading like a receding hairline. And
I mean, I
just
think it
didn't want to-
plays. It plays.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Tiger. I keep sort of tweaking a little, very minimal things on their costumes, and I'm waiting for a note to be like, maybe don't do that. But, so far we're good.
Yeah.
But I just don't want Panthro to like. In my head, Panther is gonna come out like a leather daddy or something. I'm like,
I mean, okay, look.
He's already
yeah.
there.
He
right.
would like be at the Folsom parade.
Yeah, yep.
Look, let's I'm gonna keep it. Look, I'm gonna keep it a million with you. I don't think, short of maybe like, yeah, obviously like Wily Cat, Wily Kid, and Snarf, pretty much all of them look like they look Pride Parade ready. I
100%.
have been to at least, I don't want to say my fair share, but I would say close to my fair share of Pride parades. And I'm not saying that I've ever seen any Thundercats at a Pride parade, but I have seen a lot of people dressed like Thundercats at Pride parades. So I honestly think it's kind of right at home. I'm just saying, hey, I think it takes somebody that is quite confident and secure in themselves. Not a man baby. Not a man baby. You have to really know yourself to be able to walk out of the house in the Panthro fit. And honestly, and I think it's actually really cool because when I was a kid, and even now, I honestly didn't really think about it till just now. I just always thought Panthro looked cool.
Same.
I would never wear anything that he is wearing. I don't have the body for it. But even if I did, I wouldn't, just because I'd be like, "Ooh, man, it's cold. It's cold out here. It's I need maximum warmth." I don't know. I don't know if it's too late, but maybe lean into the leather daddy
think so.
thing. I mean, I don't know.
Also, the Thundercats love everybody, so like we don't need to worry about any of that.
Right. I mean, and Thundercats are just cool.
They are cool.
They're just cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anything about I mean, I do now because I'm an adult, but like, and those things always kind of make me giggle, and I always feel like I have to like, remind people the situation with Lion-O, whenever Lion-O and Chitara, I was like, man, seems kind of weird. That's like a I mean, she ain't his mama, but I mean, she may as well be. But I do always find the look and the style of the Thundercats is something that probably some of the most timely fashion, just because like it's so of its time. But like a lot of the stuff that is on those characters is stuff that I could just as easily see now, just in some capacity or another.
Yeah.
So,
It's like graphic and timeless in a way, while also being like camp, but
yes.
also perfectly 80s, like you said, where it just feels like this snapshot of like, oh my God, this is it. Like the cartoon, 80s cartoon, Thundercats, we love it. Like,
oh yeah. For you, Coleman, who was the I guess what would be the easiest characters? Or I won't even say easy, but the most fun to play with.
I think I was most excited to tackle Snarf because I think stylistically he looks a lot different than he does on the show, but I wanted to like sort of bring in more like American like renderings with him, just because he's sort of like the link between the Powerpuff Girls and the Thundercats. So he definitely had the biggest change, and I was excited to play with that a lot. But then also Chitara, because she's hot. She's just cool, and like the hair is like, there's just a lot
it's
of
fabulous.
fun
You can
stuff
you
to
can
play
say it.
with. Yeah,
It's fabulous.
Yeah,
be honest. It's fabulous. She has the best hair.
And that's a hard battle because they all have great hair, save for Panthro. But
yeah, look, man, he's a look, man. He's a bald king, and we love him.
I was
for
gonna
it.
say he's a bald king. I was literally about to say
he's a bald king. Look, you don't fight the battles you can't win. Okay, you don't fight the battles you can't win. He can't win. He can't win in the follicle Olympics. He can't do it.
Doesn't matter. He's hot. He's good.
He's that's like the original dad bod. That's the original dad bod right there. So yeah, I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, he knows he can't compete on that level. But he knows he knows where to pick his battles. He knows he's got the cool points. He's got the cool points, and that's and honestly, I think that's more important. So for you, Paulina, kind of in a similar vein, were there any characters that you found more challenging, to write in the scenario than others? Because you've already pretty much established you got Powerpuff Girls on lock. So that's we ain't talking about that. But just in general, like, were there any characters that, like, in this situation that presented any challenge?
Well, we're still working out the whole script arc. So there are some characters I haven't written yet. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but yeah. But honestly, finding, I kind of. Nothing, cut it. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I think finding the voice of the Thundercats can be hard, but just because they, especially the original 80s Thundercats, they're ridiculous. They're like, yes. I'm going to save the day. So you have to kind of like modernize the cheese in a way.
Yes.
You're still holding true to their voice, albeit as dumb as they may be sometimes, while still pulling in like a little more like emotion or just like maybe vulnerability in a way that that it lends itself to the story. But like Tigra is, I think it's okay to say this, Tigra is very important to our story. Mm-hmm. And I think balancing out where he sits has been hard, but also really fun. And I really, really love Tigra because he used to be somebody I do not care about. And now that I'm writing him in this story, he's like steadily becoming my favorite, which is strange. So it's a very fun ride. I think Tigra is an interesting character, and I think we play him off in a way in this comic that we haven't seen a lot in the show that I think fans will enjoy. I really do.
There was a couple of things you said that kind of leapt out at me. And this is something that I think when I was talking with, Sue, who did Thundercats Chitara.
Yeah.
And you said something very similar to something she said that I never thought about before until like someone said it out loud. But like finding the voice for the Thundercats, how much of a challenge it could be just because of how stiff.
Yes.
Everything is regal. And it also lore-wise also, but largely because of the time that they're from, how voice acting was, everything was enunciated very clearly. Yeah. So like by proxy, them, as characters spoke very clearly, everything was like almost annoyingly well enunciated. I was almost like, man, can someone like slur a word every now and again? Because I'm about sick of this. But
it's very one-dimensional. It's very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Like, they wear their entire character on their sleeves. Like there's nothing deep going on. It's just whatever they're doing.
Look,
and that's it.
Look, we got 22 minutes to fill so we can sell these toys, okay? Okay? You understand me?
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? Okay. All right, yeah. Anyway, read the lines. No, I love it as much as the next person. Like, actually, I'm a huge fan of the original. Like, all the Rankin Bass stuff, but it is something I always laugh about.
It's funny. It's great, but it sometimes doesn't lend itself to authentic storytelling, especially modern sensibilities.
100,000,000%. And I guess the other thing, because you brought up characters that you talked about, Tiger, a character you didn't particularly care for at first, but you kind of found an interest in the character as you were writing the character. That's something I'm very curious about for you, Coleman. Was there any character like that for you where, like, maybe not say whether it was a character you didn't like or just didn't have much of an opinion on? Were there any characters that you kind of were like, actually kind of like drawing this character, this is fun?
It's so funny because Paulina has Tiger, and then for me it was Buttercup. But the like funny thing about that is, like, they have such a their arcs are so important to this series, so like for us to kind of like be hesitant about the main characters, I guess, but like, I think the Powerpuff Girls, they have a lot of it's very like structured, and they have a lot of things that inform the others, like their bangs, and then Blossom's bow, and Bubbles' pigtails. They all like sit at a very certain spot where you can like kind of triangulate where the other part goes. But with Buttercup's really flips, I really couldn't wrap my head around it for a long time, and I was like, because sometimes they go below the eye, sometimes they're above the eye, and I'm like, what are the rules?
see this is why it's good you're working with Paulina, because Paulina can tell you. Like, she can tell you. She can get you on.
I love drawing Buttercup. That's so funny that you find. I like. She's one of my favorites to draw. It's just like shoot, 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 shoot. It's that hair. It's just so interesting. I love that.
I definitely love Buttercup now. So, but before I was like, I don't know where stuff goes.
On the fence. It's okay.
It's fun playing with like their expressions, because when I first started doing it, I was very like, okay, 98 is the Bible. That's like what I'm going to base it off of. But then I was looking at the character models for the 2015 show, and they play with their expressions so much. And so I tried to bring in some of that energy with the girls. So.
Fun.
I actually find that really interesting. And I guess, the discovering differences or not differences really, but like just discovering little things about something that, maybe you just didn't really all that jive with before. I actually think it's really cool to kind of find an appreciation for something, because you're getting to engage with it, and I guess in a lot of ways on your own terms, and kind of getting to maybe see a side of it that maybe wasn't, I won't say not necessarily presented before, but you're just kind of getting to see a perspective that it just wasn't there before. That's something else I meant to ask, because this is something I was not sure on. Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls, is it going to be a mini series or like limited series?
Currently, it's just a mini series. So we have the free comic book day issue that comes out in May, which will be free, which is awesome. And that's technically our issue 0. So it will be included in the trade. Okay. And then we have 4 consecutive issues that are going to come out after that. And the first one comes out in June. So.
I think, was it June the 4th? I don't know.
The date was moving, so I'm not sure. But right now, just June. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I get it. If I had a nickel for every time that a comic shifted dates, I mean, it's not to say that I would have millions of nickels or anything, but it definitely would be.
Maybe you would have millions of nickels.
Yeah, I would definitely have more nickels than I would care to have, I guess.
A lot of nickels. Yeah.
One thing I definitely want to say too, because you brought up something that I love to harp on with my audience. And it was something you were talking about, the whether this was going to be like a mini series or ongoing series. So I like to always tell people about this really awesome thing. It's so cool. You've never heard of it before, but you're totally going to hear about it here, and you're going to go hog wild over it. It's called the pull box.
Yep.
I know none of y'all know what I'm talking about. This is new stuff. Look, this is you got to be. You got to be in that upper echelon to really know about this sort of thing. But no, you go to see what you do is you go to your person behind the counter. Like you got to go in a comic book shop first. That's the first thing. And there's a person behind the counter, somebody, I don't know. And you're gonna come up to them and you have to say like a very specific phrase. No, not really. It just you have to say, hey, can you put this in my this comic, can you put it in my pull box? And then this magical thing happens. A pull box is going to appear before you, and the comic that you asked for is going to show up in that pull box every month or week, however often said comic releases. And one of the best ways to ensure that comics that you love always come back is the pull box. So just putting that out there, everybody.
Buy comics.
Don't. I know what y'all thinking. Don't walk, run to the comic shop, or drive. I mean, I'm not drawing it, but you can drive if you want. Drive to the comic shop. Ask them. Say, hey, I heard about this really cool thing. It's called Thundercats Powerpuff Girls. Look, is there a way to get this in the pull box? And the person behind the counter be like, oh, wow, yeah, actually, just so happens we have this thing. We can get this for you. And, that goes a long way. Also,
the first one is free. It's free.
It's free. So that's the best part.
It's free.
You can just look. Not only okay. Look, y'all. Level with me, y'all. Okay. I know. There's tons of comics that are out there in the world, and you want to be Ash Ketchum. You want to catch them all. I get it. But this is easy. This is an easy one. You don't even have to throw the Pokeball at it. You just walk up and it'll follow you like Pikachu. So you just have to go up to the counter is what you got to do. Like I can't make this any easier for y'all. So go do that. Just the main idea here is that just go to your shop, pick it up, check it out. And honestly, I promise you that based on the body of work of both Paulina and Coleman, I think the worst that could happen is that you walk away and have a good time. So that's just me. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to set weird expectations, but that's just how I feel about it. I feel like that's the worst that could happen is you walk away and go, that was a good time. That's the worst. And if that's the worst, imagine what the best is. So go do that. And I will definitely say that I'll be checking it out because comic shop, I go to those. And I like getting my free comic book day stuff. So I'm really excited for it because it's something that honestly I didn't know I actually wanted till a few months ago. But what I wanted to do because obviously we were here to talk about Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls, and all that cool stuff. But what I like to do is I like to give people opportunity. Be like, hey, there's this thing that I really want to put out there that is not a part of the thing that we're talking about, and I want to give you guys opportunity to maybe throw some plugs out there.
Plug in. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, yes, Thundercats, Powerpuff Girls. That's number one.
Yes.
Or as we call it, Thunderpuffs. That's what the cool guys are calling it. So
yeah.
Okay.
You're in the know now.
So remember, Thunderpuffs pull box.
That's right. That's what it's all about. I mean, I'm working on another book, but it doesn't come out for 2 years. But yeah, pick up Flora in 2026.
Excuse you?
Yeah,
2 years?
Oh my God, it's 300 pages. What am I doing?
Oh, no. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time. There's a reason. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I wrote it, so it's my own fault. I'm writing and drawing it, so it's all me. I'm a sadist, clearly. So, but yeah, that's yeah. That's all I got to plug. Oh yeah, and Lemon Bird. Please read Lemon Bird if you have any kids that love comics. I wrote that as well and drew it, and it means so much to me. Look, I have one right here. Cute.
Also, there is a link. There'll be a link in the description of this video. That will have Lemon Bird as well as some other assorted titles included as well. So I'm just like I said,
those are my plugs. Okay, I plug.
Coleman, would you like to plug?
Similarly, I have a book coming out in a couple of years. It's called Scholar's Mate with First Second and Chris Kindred. But I think that might be 2027-ish. So,
well,
mine is also First Second. I forgot to mention. That's so funny. Double First Second.
What are we? Are we coordinating here? Like, what's going on?
Clearly,
Okay.
Twinsies. Yeah.
I also have some books that are centric to you, Coleman, that will also be in the description below as well. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like I said, I like to give people the snapshot. Be like, hey, these are the things. These are the things.
I mean, we're making these things. You may as well show people.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying. It's I swear. But no, I just wanted to say thank you both for taking the time to do this. And please, y'all go get the damn book. Now, go now. It's not out yet, but I'm just telling you, go do that.
Yes. Thunderpuff's home.